Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about how I make gold in ESO. Now, there is a couple of ways that I go about doing it, but honestly, once you understand how to make gold in ESO, you're going to find it's actually super easy. It seemed super intimidating to me, and then once I really understood a few things, I just started making, a decent amount of gold. Now I'm not, you know, the richest person in the world, right? But I always have it. I always have at least a couple million, and I'm never really like in a position where I'm hurting for gold. So first off, I'm gonna go ahead and go kind of through the sweat equity way, in the way that I kind of learned just from speaking with experienced players when I first started the game, is that the more characters you have with maxed out crafting, the more writs you can do. So if you have, let's say, like 5 characters at level 50, and they have well, they don't necessarily have to have max level crafting, but you just want them to have points into crafting to some extent. What you want to do is you want to leave it at 1, okay? But what you want to do is you want to get to level 50 so you can do the writs. And the reason why is because one, the gold value scales off of the writ, but what you can get in the writ doesn't. So like, you can actually get, I actually got legendary materials from characters that only had like 1 point into it just from doing these writs, right? And when you find the legendary materials, it's actually extremely important, right? So you unlock all these writs, and notice how like it just kind of took all those writs at once. There is an add-on called it's called like the Lazy Writ Crafter. I highly suggest you go download it, and it'll actually just kind of do things for you. So you just kind of walk over. See? Oh, it's actually out of date, but yeah. Dolgubin's Lazy Writ Crafter, but you do this, you do craft, and it really streamlines the process. But then, once you have done all these writs, and they just require very minor materials, and they're actually, for all your characters that don't have max level crafting, it's going to be self-sufficient. You're not going to have to do any farming at all. But if you do have one person at max level, that character would technically eventually run out of mats. However, if you do surveys and stuff like that, you're not going to have any issues at all. So boom. And not only and what's really cool actually are those anniversary jubilee gifts. You can get some cool stuff like leads and stuff like that from doing this too during these events. Oh, look at that, perfect row. Stuff like that. And the reason why getting legendary materials is important is going to be kind of the next way I'm going to suggest making money. Now, I don't think you should necessarily sell all your legendary materials, but one thing you can do is either go to either Rimmon All Chat, or you can come over here to Belkarth, just the really popular areas, and just say, hey, selling temporary alloy for X amount. Now, the value of tempering alloy actually changes, so there's a website called the Tamriel Trade Center. I suggest you just go check prices on there, see what they're selling for, and go with that. There's a couple add-ons you can get too that have to do the Tamriel Trade Center. If you download the Minion app, it'll help you. You can find all these add-ons real fast, and it'll kind of help you price things. So keep that in mind. So there's that option, and then the other option would also be to join a crafting guild. So if you go look through guilds, you just look at trading guilds, right? Now typically the issue with this is that it depends on like how far you want to go, because like this one right here, Serious Trading, 700 million plus weekly, right? So these places typically you need to be able to sell a certain amount. So I think that depending on where you're at, you might not want to go this route. But for example, if you do veteran raids, or not even veteran raids, just if you do the trials, right, just even the regular ones, and you walk through, and as you're walking through those trials, you just go to every single cabinet, you go to every single chest, you will actually find you'll find like cosmetic stuff that sells for like 600,000 gold. And whenever you find those things and you have some of those stacked up, it's actually pretty good to join a trading guild even if they have a requirement, because it's going to give you access to a guild trader and you're going to sell that stuff maybe a little bit faster on a guild trader. But there is always the option going to Belkarth and just saying, hey, selling X item for X to get gold. So yeah, so then there's that. But keep in mind, when you do this kind of sweat equity way that I was talking about, that if you have 5 characters and you do all the writs every day, you'll get about 4,600 gold per character. So that means if you got on, you did the writs on 5 characters, let's say you had 5 level 50s, right, you'd be making like 20,000 gold a day. So 20,000 gold a day times that by 7, you're making 140,000 gold a week, and all you're doing is getting on casually to do writs. Now, if you combine that with selling stuff in all chat, right? Like, or, you know, for example, I just found, you know, Perfect Row, which I actually have probably a few of, yeah. So see that? Perfect Row sells for 78,000, average 95,000, right? Like, if you want to get a boost of gold, now I personally don't sell my materials because I'm actually very much, and you look at this chrome plating, 490,000, right? Like, if you really need a boost of gold, don't be afraid, and you have like, you know, like 3 or 4 chrome platings you were saving, just sell one of them and then, you know, just wait to farm to get the next one, right? But you see chromium grains, 49, like this stuff just sells for so much. But that being said, you know, Drew Wax, like look, I have 1,000,000 gold in Drew Wax here. That being said, you're going to get to a point, especially if you level up crafters like I'm saying and you do the writs, to where you don't really need a lot of gold. Like, you're not going to need gold because there's not going to be anything you can't just make. You're going to get to this point of self-sufficiency where it's like you kind of just have like a crafting bag that's worth like multi-millions, simply because you've just been doing all of these things consistently for such a long period of time, right? Because it's like, what do you really need to buy off of like a guild trader? Nothing, if you can just make it all yourself. Like, if you have, like, is this character isn't my max level crafter, but I have a max level crafter that can just make me anything. It has almost all the traits researched, so I can make any starting gear I need, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, you just gotta think about it. Gold in this game, it kind of builds upon itself. It's kind of like a snowball, where, you know, once you really start to get self-sufficient, it really starts to go. But yeah, so I guess in summary, best ways to make gold is going to be make 4 to 5 characters, get them to level 50, unlock all of the writs, Now to do that, all you have to do is go talk to like Milaneth or whatever and Daniel Taleno, and they'll give you the quests. And then in order to get the jewelry crafting one, you have to specifically go to Auradon and talk to a guy that's in, or sorry, in Alinor, and talk to a guy there. That's how you unlock all of them. If you want a really fast way to get the first 2, just go to Solitude if you have it open, and then go to the place there, because Milaneth and Daniel Toronto are pretty close together, whereas in some places they're not so close. But yeah, okay. And then so once you do that on 4 or 5 characters, you can make 20k a day just doing a casual sweat equity type thing. And then the other option is going to be sell legendary materials that you find or get, just to give you a boost of gold in chat. And then if you do trials, just looting absolutely everything and then selling the cosmetic stuff you get in all chat or on a guild trader. These are the easiest by far. I'm sure that there's more, like, you know, min-max efficient way, but if you're a casual player like me that just kind of wants to make gold, you know, gradually, I'm not sitting here trying to make 10 million gold a week because I have literally no reason to, right? I just want to have a few million, so if I ever need something or something like that, I'm fine. Or if, you know, maybe I want to get to the point where I can farm stuff, because, you know, I can make anything. I can make bewitched sugar skulls. I can make almost every legendary recipe there is, right? But sometimes you have to go out and buy those legendary recipes because, like, bewitched sugar skulls you can't even get unless it's Halloween, right? So you're going to need gold. So, you know, just to have gold to pick up the random patterns like that, because I think it costs like 80 or 100,000 gold just to buy that. So yeah. But hopefully hopefully this guide has helped you, and hopefully you can understand a better way to casually make gold without burning yourself out. Just play the game, you know, do trials. Trials are pretty easy. You don't need to have crazy gear to do trials. They're very, very easy if you do them on normal. And don't be afraid to level up multiple characters to just do writs on, because I mean, that's the point of the game. Just play it, have fun. Alrighty guys, thank you. See you guys later.